Hi everyone, I'm Sammy, and let me just give a small introduction before I start because I'm an international student currently studying at MIT, and I'm pretty much sure nobody knows about me. I'm Sammy. I'm a game designer and developer, and I'm currently pursuing my master's at games at RMIT University. And I formerly worked at Ubisoft, and I've of course published 2 AAA games under my name. So, shout out. So, here what I'm going to do is basically talk about the transition from how like a AAA industry work, and then how I transitioned from a AAA industry to an indie dev, and about my journey. Hope it helps people around who are looking forward to either work for AAA or indie. And so let me just start with how a AAA industry work. So one thing when I found when I first joined Ubisoft, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be like really fun and games and kind of fun, but the reality was completely different. So first thing which I found was the AAA industry, you have to be like completely specialized into one kind of work. Yep, so I was talking about like it's pretty repetitive work. So for me, like it was like almost the same day and the same work, which I mean, initially, I think a year or two you might like it, but afterwards it has become really repetitive and really boring. And the thing with AAA industry is that since there's a very large budget, we have a really large team. So a team size which I was working was with 700 people across the globe with different time zone. And what I faced was that there was a very hard time to communicate between people and getting work done because it's a 700 people across the globe at different time zone. And what I found like one challenge was your communication and your documentation. Like these has to be really essential whenever you're working in a AAA industry because you are communicating across different world, different time zones, different people, and it could possess a challenge. So for me personally, it was a little bit challenging to work around these people, but of course, the more experience you get, you will get a hang around it. And one more thing, another thing that actually I didn't like it, is something of quality versus a quantity. So over in AAA, since it's a large budget, we don't exactly focus too much on the quality of our product. So what we generally see is we want variations, we want iterations, and we want to work really fast. So the focus is more on the quantity, on how much you can produce in a day compared to producing good quality stuff. And one more thing with AAA is because the project scope gets like around 5 years, 10 years. So for me, one project was around 8 years. It took 8 years to develop, and it keeps changing. So what happened with me was it could be like, okay, you have one goal, but since there are so many iterations, you kind of lose the sight, like where you are going with it. So there's one thing in mind, people who want to go to AAA industry, that it might be really long, very repetitive. So just be mindful, and of course it takes a lot of motivation to get a big AAA game out. So don't lose hope. We have been there. Everybody is like there to help you out, and just make sure you work with the team very well. Now coming to like shifting from a AAA industry to an indie game, one thing that turned my life whenever I was working with indie game is like I have to do everything on my own, like starting from scratch, like making the ideas from the paper and pen to bringing to life. So in the AAA industry, you always have a template or somebody guiding you with the designs, and because you are just like tweaking few small values, but in your indie game, you just have to do everything from scratch, like taking the ideas and putting it into the system. And what I experienced was completely different than what I thought I would be doing. So one thing is basically solo developing gets pretty hard. Like sometimes you have like really good ideas but you cannot bring it to life. And another thing is you have limited funds and limited access to technology. Like in AAA, you can just access anything anytime. You just need to talk to your manager, be like, okay, I need this, and it's in your hand. But for an indie game like me, like a student like me, I just have like one laptop and I have to get everything work inside. So with limited resources, how can you actually make a game? So that was a big challenge for me. And another thing with indie game is like the marketing. So once you have a game done, you have to actually market it. So I have no background in economics or finance. So when I was working on the indie game, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna release it. But then the hard part comes is like marketing, like, putting into social media, letting people to know about your game, getting to get fundings. Yeah, it's a really hard part. Oh, sorry. So one of the best practices, like throughout the development from the AAA to indie, what I found is first we have to start like very small. So of course I have a lot of ideas that I wanted to make, but what I want to do is scale down the project, make it like really small and doable in the resources that I have. Second thing is getting the technical experiences. So I am a programmer by nature. My undergrad is in computer engineering, but I really suck at designing. So that's why I'm here at RMIT, to learn the design and the techniques. So get the technical experiences which you need. Another thing is make a plan. And I think if you don't have a plan and you just straight jump, I think it's going to mess up. So please have a plan, have a flowchart when you're working. And of course, test your idea on a small scale. You can just make a small prototype and get it tested by your friends or family, anyone, and test these ideas out. Because if you just, like me, just keep on developing, have a finished product, and it might never work. And of course, gather feedback. Like after the test, please gather feedback and work on it. And of course, research the trend, because at the end of the day, you're going to market this game and put it on the market. So please research the trend, and of course, the repeat. So you have to like repeat and see. And one more myth which a lot of people have asked me about the reality of making games, and like the myths of making games and the reality. So what my parents thought that when I was working in a AAA company, that, oh, okay, I'm building something new. And when they saw controller in my hand, they were like, you're playing games. And I was like, Dad, no, it's my work. I'm not playing games, it's my work. But he was like, no, you're just having fun. And I got a earful about that for not telling my parents that Ubisoft is actually a gaming company. So, fun story. But one thing is that making games can be fun, but it is also hectic. And another thing could be, yeah, so market is highly competitive. Like a lot of people are like, okay, let's make games and market it. Marketing is not easy, as you can tell. So please do your research properly. And another thing is you need cutting technology to make games, but you don't need it. Even with like new tools and everything you guys are doing, you can simply do it with open source software, as well as there are many more tech which is upcoming. So thank you guys for having me.